even for very experienced people, this is more, I think of this as training wheels on a bicycle in relationship to particular abilities. So I just wanted to start with a little anecdote, very briefly. Near where I live, Clissold Park, there's a reservoir, and part of there's a cafe on the reservoir, and you can sit there with a coffee and look out. And part of the reservoir is used by schools and organisations to train kids how to sail. And they have these little dinghies. I mean, they're really not very big at all. And I think that they probably just explained the rudiments of steering and holding the rope and for the boom and the sail, catching the wind. And then they put the kids in them and say, go to that buoy over there and then come back. And it's actually, for most people in the cafe, just watching its entertainment is absolutely hilarious. But it's also, from my point of view, a lesson in how to work in meditation. So they've been taught how to do it. And you can see almost immediately, as soon as there's a gust of wind and the boom swings, they lose everything. They lose the tiller, so it goes off. They lose the rope that holds the sail, and most of them, I'm saying not all of them, and then they just sort of go everywhere. They hit the dock, they hit each other, they're screaming. First opportunity, they jump off the boat. It's really mayhem, except for the one or two, and there was this young girl, she was probably 7 or 8, I guess. She had understood the principle. First of all, don't panic. Keep with it, stay with it, because the wind's gusting, and she stayed with it. And her crew, one guy was completely, well, he was away, really. He was just obsessed with not being hit by the boom. And so she had both. And it was amazing to watch how she caught the wind and she steered. And she went, right across the lake, and everyone else is, ah! And I thought it's a very good example for awareness of the breath in the meditation. So I'm just going to say a few words to sort of draw out the analogy. Like all analogies, it's not perfect. They never are perfect, but it gives you a sense of the thing that you catch the wind and you steer into the wind. And here the analogy is to catching, being aware of and staying with and experiencing the breath as it happens. And that's analogous to the catching the wind in the sail. And you steer yourself into that experience, into where, being more and more with the wind and where you're going, the direction, rather than shooting off somewhere else. And so the skills and abilities that are primary here are having clear intention. And even for people who are really experienced, you still need to remember that. And there's something I want to add to that in a moment. You set up your intentions before you actually the bell rings and you start. The setting up period is really important. You're setting up the intention to be present, engaged, alive to your experience. And you're saying that quietly to yourself. So I say it, arrive, and then you say it in your own voice, and maybe even in a different language, who knows. You make it your own. and you're arriving, and what that is like for you. So it's a primary intention to arrive, and then to stay with the experience that you engage with of, first of all, the body and what the body is like, and then later on the breath. So that is almost the second intention, to stay with, to keep with it, to follow it. And this is really a skill for life, for the whole of your life, and everyday life, and for years. Being able to say, I'm going to stay with this, and then to stay with it. Things happen, a bit like the gust of wind and the boom to distract you, but you stay with it. Whatever distracting thoughts come, part of the skill and the intention is to go, not now, later maybe, come back. So you're constantly revisiting your intention. So as well as the basic intentions to be with the body and the breath, and to notice when your mind wanders and to come back, they're primary. You have some other intentions, and especially for those of you who are more experienced, you are keeping a thread from meditation to meditation of qualities which you know that you need or want to or can develop. So it might be contentment rather than restlessness, enjoyment rather than dissatisfaction, and being impatient. You keep a thread of a quality that you know that you need or that you already have had. And so there's a very positive quality here that you're paying attention to, and you keep that going, a continuity from one meditation to the other. So the little point I wanted to make is in the meditation, our ability to stay with something, especially the body and the breath in the meditation, is based on the mystery of memory. If you try and think about memory, it is quite mysterious. But there is something quite practical you can do to strengthen your memory, and that is to keep re-emphasizing your intentions mentally, internally. The breath, stay with it, follow it, let go, come back. So you gently and kindly re-emphasize your intentions, as it were, it's a manner of speaking, dropping them into your mind. And they go in and they become part of your memory of what you're doing. They become almost like body memory. I'm doing this, I'm staying with this. But it happens at a quite subtle level, but what you need to do is keep emphasizing the memory. Okay, so is everyone happy with their posture? Are you okay? Everyone happy? Yeah, absolutely. Make sure you've got the right height cushion, really important. So just quick check. Good. Okay. So I'm just going to quickly check. Jenny, can you hear me okay? Can you hear everything okay? I think that's it. Yes. Okay. Good. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to break up this 25 minutes or so into shorter meditations with rest periods in between. So I'll guide you into something with a theme, and then at a certain point I'll say rest, and then you just rest. And then I'll introduce you and guide you in again. So this reiterating and doing something again and again helps with strengthening memory. And the rest period is quite important here. You just sit and be aware. Okay, so arriving, telling yourself that, just arriving, connecting. And if you feel happy to do so, close your eyes and just come into, first of all, the sense of your body. The body, how it feels in different ways. Is there discomfort or comfort? Letting your awareness take it in. Staying with it. Dropping that in gently. Stay with it. Connecting with the experience of the body and how it feels. Is there any tension or holding? If there is, just take a moment to soften and lower the shoulders. Being open to this process of arriving and connecting. Then just dropping in the immediate intention that you're going to be staying with the breath, following the breath, staying with the breath, and the flow of the breath as it comes and goes out. Dropping that in. And then the clear intention, you're going to check when, as it were, another window of thought or imagination opens up. You'll close that window down, as it were, swipe it away and come back. To check, clear, and come back. Clear intention, dropping it in. And then bring to mind a theme for yourself that you'd like to continue with, a quality. It could be patience, it could be kindness, it could be contentment. Just pick one. And now, just dropping in the words, the breath, letting the breath come to the foreground of experience, the breath. taking in the whole rhythm and pace of the breath. Is it long or short, fast or slow? Feeling it. So you're orienting yourself to the breath and the flow and the experience of it. Steering yourself to the breath, catching it, staying with it. Now particularly the movement in your body caused by the breath as it comes in and goes out. The movement. Relaxing into the breath. So you're focused, but you're also open to the breath, taking it in. Staying with it. Re-emphasizing that intention periodically. Still with the breath in the foreground, now bring your attention down to the belly and the breath. And what happens and how it feels as the breath comes in and goes out in the belly. The movement. So you give yourself to that area of experience and take it in. And periodically just checking as the mind wandered, clear it and come back if you need to. And engaging the belly and the breath. And resting. Just staying aware of yourself, engaged, but in an open way, how you are now. And then very quietly in your mind, just ask yourself, is there a descriptive word or two for how I am now? Just ask yourself that. A descriptive word for how I am now. Just take it in. Does it feel true? Letting the word help you connect with how you are. And having the intention to maintain awareness, now just say to yourself quietly in your mind, the breath. Letting the breath come to the forefront of attention, steering to it and staying with it. The whole flow of the breath. And within that whole flow, just getting a sense, is there any discomfort or comfort? Being open to that, just taking it in, staying with it. Now, as well as the breath, be aware of your back and how the breath quite naturally moves your back as it comes in, lifting it, and it drops as your breath goes out. Just tuning into that subtle movement of breath and back. Steering your attention to the breath on the back and staying with it, as it were, catching the breath. remembering the quality you wanted to stay with, patience or kindness, for example. Just remembering it, connecting with it, and the breath and the back. Could be determination, for example. Becoming more and more sensitive to the subtle movements in your back and your rib cage of the breath and the body. How it moves you. And if you notice yourself tightening, then just soften and lower your shoulders. And now, bringing attention up into the face and the nostrils. And slightly emphasize the out breath twice, just to help you focus on the sensation, and then just let the breath find its natural rhythm again. You're steering to the breath in the nostrils, staying with it, checking, clearing, and coming back when you need to. So you're going to the breath in the nostril, but you're also letting the sensation come to you. And you're taking it in, you're open to it, and allowing the sensation to, as it were, fill you. Staying with it. staying with the sensation in the nostril. Now start to use your imagination that it's the prow of the dinghy going through the water. Bring that image to mind, that you're like a dinghy going through water. And the sensation is like the bowsprit as you go through the water. So you have the sensation and the image, which is fluid and changing. Going to and taking in the sensation, letting it fill you. Practicing that, going to and taking in. Letting your mind be filled with the experience of the breath in the nostrils. Steering into it. Letting the image of the bowsprit fade away, but staying now with the whole sense of the breath coming in and going out, and how it moves your body and how it feels. Staying with it. Letting your attention settle into the experience of the breath. And resting. Broadening your awareness to the whole sense of yourself sitting here. And now asking yourself a metaphoric question. If I'm water, what kind of water am I like now? And be open to a water image. Without censoring, filtering, or being critical. If I'm a lake, what kind of lake am I like now? And if an image emerges, just ask, does it fit? Come in, as it were, to the deeper expression of that image, what it's like in you. Taking it in. being open to it. And then letting the imagery fade away, but just staying with how you are. Just savouring how you are, staying connected. And when you're ready, opening your eyes and taking in the room with the sense of mindfulness of yourself in this space. So, at the end of the meditation, as your mind wants to start operating again, you channel your thinking mind into the question, what did I learn about that, from that? What was helpful? What was interesting? What was unhelpful? Just ask that question and just notice what occurs to you. What did I learn? It's like being honest. Good, okay. So that's a complete sequence of skills. It's not all the skills, but it's a lot of the skills and abilities and attitudes that you need to be able to meditate and be mindful effectively. So, for people who are more experienced, you just keep re-emphasizing, dropping them in. And when you're newer, you just go, oh, what was it he said? And then make it your own. So just a little sort of informational thing. The North London Buddhist Centre has a Facebook page. I think you can get into the Facebook page whether you're a member or not. You just Google North London Buddhist Centre Facebook page. And in the discussion section are the notes of this, more or less. A bit more and a bit less. But you'll notice there are also some other notes from previous classes that I've led. And if you've got a spare afternoon, I'm kind of joking. If you've got a spare time, then you can just go through them. It's all skills and abilities that you need.